The autumn wind carried the sound of laughter and chatter across Roosevelt High's courtyard, but for 16-year-old Maya Johnson, the voices around her held no warmth. She clutched her backpack straps tighter as 5 students formed a loose circle around her, their faces twisted with the cruel confidence that came from pack mentality. "Look what we have here," sneered Jake Morrison, the ringleader whose family had moved to town just 6 months ago. "The scholarship girl thinks she belongs with us." Maya kept her eyes down, focusing on the cracked concrete beneath her feet. She dealt with whispers and stares before, but this felt different. More dangerous. The other students had joined Jake's circle, emboldened by his presence. "My dad says people like you are just taking spots away from kids who deserve them," added Sarah Chin, though her voice wavered slightly, as if she wasn't entirely convinced by her own words. "I earned my place here," Maya said quietly, her voice steady despite the trembling in her hands. She'd worked 3 years of straight A's and countless volunteer hours to get into Roosevelt's advanced program. Jake stepped closer, his shadow falling across her. "Did you though? Or did they just need to fill a quota?" The circle tightened. Maya felt her heart hammering against her ribs. She thought about running, but they'd positioned themselves strategically near the school's back entrance, away from teachers and security cameras. When she heard it, the unmistakable sound of paws hitting pavement in perfect synchronization. The bullies heard it too. Their heads turned toward the sound, and Jake's confident smirk began to falter. Around the corner of the building came 2 magnificent German shepherds, their black and tan coats gleaming in the afternoon sun. But these weren't ordinary dogs. They moved with military precision, their posture alert and professional. Their dark eyes scanned the situation with an intelligence that made the air feel suddenly electric. Behind them walked Staff Sergeant Marcus Johnson, Maya's older brother, still in his camouflage uniform from the base where he worked as a K-9 handler. His presence commanded immediate respect, 6 feet of disciplined muscle and quiet authority. "Maya," he said calmly, his voice carrying the kind of controlled power that made grown soldiers stand at attention. "Everything all right here?" The dogs, Thor and Athena, positioned themselves on either side of Maya without a single verbal command. Their training was evident in every movement, protective but not aggressive, alert but controlled. They were weapons of incredible precision, but their discipline was absolute. Jake's face had gone pale. The other students began to shuffle backward, their bravado evaporating like morning mist. "We were just talking," Jake stammered, his voice cracking slightly on the last word. Sergeant Johnson's eyes swept over each student in the circle, reading the situation with the same tactical awareness he'd used in 2 tours overseas. "Talking," he repeated, his tone neutral but somehow carrying the weight of absolute authority. "That's good. Maya enjoys conversations with her classmates." Thor's ears twitched forward at a slight hand gesture from Marcus that was nearly imperceptible. The dog's gaze fixed on Jake with the kind of focused attention that suggested he was cataloging every detail about the boy. "These dogs," Marcus continued conversationally, "they're trained to read body language, stress levels, aggressive postures. They can detect fear, hostility, deception." He paused, letting that sink in. "Right now, they're telling me this wasn't just a friendly chat." Sarah was the first to break. "We should go," she whispered urgently to the others. "We're gonna be late for class." But Jake, perhaps pushed by embarrassment or a desperate need to save face, took a step forward. "This is a public school," he said, trying to inject authority into his voice. "You can't intimidate students." Marcus smiled then, an expression that somehow managed to be both friendly and absolutely terrifying. "Son, I'm not intimidating anyone. I'm just walking my dogs after work and checking on my little sister." Athena, as if sensing the tension, sat down in perfect form beside Maya and let out a soft woof, not a growl, not a bark, just a quiet sound that somehow communicated volumes about her capabilities. "But since you brought it up," Marcus continued, "let me tell you what intimidation actually looks like. It's when a group surrounds a single person. When multiple people use their numbers to make someone feel unsafe. When students target their classmates for things they can't control. Each word hit like a precision strike. The remaining bravado drained from the bullies' faces. Maya found her voice again, stronger now with her brother and his partners beside her. I earned my spot here through hard work and dedication. I'm not taking anything from anyone. I'm making the most of the opportunities I've created for myself. Jake looked around at his friends, realizing he was now the one standing alone. His support system had crumbled in the face of real authority. This isn't over, he muttered, but even as he said it, everyone, including Jake himself, knew it was. Marcus tilted his head slightly. Actually, son, I think it is. Because Thor and Athena? They'll remember your scent. They'll remember this interaction. And they walk these grounds with me every day after school while Maya attends her study groups and club meetings. It wasn't a threat, it was simply information. But the implications hung in the air like a promise. One by one, the bullies dispersed, finding suddenly urgent reasons to be elsewhere. Jake was the last to go, his shoulders hunched in defeat. When they were alone, Marcus knelt down and scratched both dogs behind the ears. Good work, you two, he murmured, and their tails wagged for the first time since they'd arrived. Maya finally exhaled, not realizing she'd been holding her breath. How did you know to come? Marcus smiled, this time with genuine warmth. Mrs. Patterson from your chemistry class called. She said she saw some students following you and got worried. Plus, he gestured to the dogs, these two are trained to detect distress. They picked up on something the moment we got close to the school. Maya buried her face in Athena's soft fur, feeling the tension finally leave her body. Thank you, she whispered. You don't need to thank me for being your brother, Marcus replied, standing and adjusting his uniform. But Maya? Next time someone questions whether you deserve to be here, you remember something. People who truly belong somewhere don't need to put others down to prove it. You're not just taking up space here, you're making this place better by being in it. As they walked toward the parking lot, Thor and Athena flanking Maya like honored guards, she felt something she hadn't experienced at Roosevelt before. She felt like she truly belonged behind them. Through a classroom window, several students watched the trio leave. Among them was Sarah Chin, who pulled out her phone and deleted Jake Morrison's number. Some conversations, she realized, weren't worth having. The next day, Maya walked through Roosevelt's halls with her head held high. Word had spread, as word tends to do in high schools, but this time the whispers carried a different tone. Respect. And maybe, just maybe, a little awe. Jake Morrison requested a transfer to another school the following week. He told his parents he wanted a fresh start, but everyone knew the truth. Some battles, once lost, are better left behind. And every afternoon, as Maya attended her study groups and club meetings, two sets of paws could be heard patrolling the grounds nearby, a reminder that some protections run deeper than blood, and some families are forged in loyalty rather than just genetics. Maya Johnson had always earned her place wherever she went. Now, finally, everyone else knew it too.